What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite coach's favorite coach, and in today's video I'm going to break down the fight that happened last night between the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers. This was a collision course that was bound to happen. So what was interesting about this brawl is basically every player played exactly their part, exactly how you'd expect them to act, given the context of the situation and in their state within their given teams. Anyways, guys, we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to make some commentary.
They say the foul occurred before the gather. He never put the ball back down. And I think another technical foul's been handed out. Now Ingram looks like he's confronting Jason Phillips. Technical foul was on Ingram for shoving James Harden after that play. Not sure what.
So it all started with James Harden kind of bullying Brandon Ingram. He does this all the time. He's very, very irritating. He initiates the contact and then complains about the foul, and it's almost impossible to guard him, and then the refs will always call the foul for him. And Ingram's very skinny. He gets made fun of a lot online for his physique, and he kind of gets bullied and manhandled by a lot of these players in the NBA. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I find it very funny how Harden can just initiate the contact, bully Ingram, and then get the foul call in his favor.
Why? What happened? Ingram was usually pretty mild-mannered. It's hot now. Paul punches a throw. Paul and Rondo throwing punches. Ingram comes in. He's throwing punches. Security trying to separate. So are some.
And here's where the melee starts. It's between Chris Paul and Rondo, who had nothing to do with the play. And let's take a look at this.
Other teammates. There's going to be suspensions for this one as Rondo immediately heads back to the locker.
Rondo's gone.
Ingram's still
Ingram has to be restrained by Lance Stephenson.
drawing. Carmelo Anthony still drawing.
And here's LeBron James. He has to play. He's always being the voice of reason. He's playing both sides, just making sure everybody's not mad at him. He's putting his arm around Chris Paul, and you can tell by the body language, Chris Paul doesn't like this. I remember one time Pau Gasol patted him on the head, and he just does not like this at all. He does not like feeling. Him and Rondo are the tallest men in the world with little men syndrome. And that's because playing in the NBA distorts your whole perception of reality, of what is tall and what's not tall. I mean, these guys are both over 6 feet tall, and they hang around giants all the time, so they feel like little guys. I get it.
That's when it gets dangerous, when it breaks out in a couple of different places. All right, there's the initial foul. Ingram's upset. Pushes hard.
So Ingram shoves Harden. He's frustrated. And the context here is this game was close. This game was very close. I think it was a 1-point game at this point. And that eventually plays into the tactics of Chris Paul and the motivations of Chris Paul. But it's very annoying. Harden definitely draws the contact, and later in the game he kind of puts the nail in the coffin. There's really no way to guard James Harden.
A technical foul. And Ingram gets in the face of Jason. You know what I think?
So here's where things get a little crazy. Ingram tries to bully the referee or get in his face. The referee doesn't look that intimidated. Lance Stephenson notices this and jumps into action. He's trying to show everybody how mature he is now. That's one of the concerns the Lakers had, or at least the media had, about him joining the Lakers. And he runs in. He's like, I'm mature, guys, I'm mature. And he's definitely buying into this role, or embracing this role of being the Uncle Meta World Peace. And there's a lot of similarities between him and Ron Artest, but he did a great job at trying to defuse the situation and showing that he's the mature guy in this situation.
It was hard behind Jason Phillips, that's why he went that way. But why did he push him to start with? And then Paul gets in the face. Rondo throws a punch. Paul throws a.
This is what I mean when I say this was inevitably going to happen. Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo are like two pit bulls, and they both, for being guys over 6 feet tall, have little man syndrome. The reaction time between Chris Paul touching Rondo's face and Rondo throwing punches at his head is very short. If you piss off Rondo, he will swing on you. It's documented. And neither of these guys take shit from anybody. And Chris Paul, but we'll get into what went on during this situation later. I kind of want to look at the other guys involved.
Punch. Ingram comes in here. He throws a punch. Those three will be suspended for those punches. Multiple games. And James quickly getting Paul out of it. As Mark said, Chris Paul was over here.
And here comes Ingram to throw the sucker punch over the head of PJ Tucker at Chris Paul.
Said that Rondo spit on him. Again, couldn't see anything there on the replay. Now Paul punches a throw. Paul and Rondo throwing punches. Ingram comes in. He's throwing punches. Security trying to separate. So are some of the teammates. There's going to be suspensions for this one as Rondo immediately heads back to the locker room. Ingram still jawing.
So a couple things going on right there. Lonzo Ball had to get involved in this fight and be the peacemaker. He infamously ran away from an altercation last year and took a lot of heat from fans about it. He's in there going, I gained 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason. I got you. And Lance Stephenson, of course, being the peacemaker in the middle, which is ironic. And here's LeBron James, and he's walking around saying, is anybody mad at me? Nobody's mad at me, right? Nobody's mad at me? And he is trying to show that he's friends with everybody, that he's got this, he's the peacekeeper. And I was damn near surprised that he didn't go walk over to the Rockets huddle with them. That's how much of the center of attention he made himself, letting it be known that he's cool with everybody and he's just making sure nobody's mad at him. And that's what's funny about LeBron James.
That's when it gets dangerous, when it breaks out in a couple of different places.
Nobody's mad at me, right? Nobody's mad at me?
There's the initial foul. Ingram's upset. Pushes Harden. A technical foul. I think it was Harden behind Jason Phillips. That's why he went that way. But why did he push him to start with?
Now let's take a look at Rondo and Chris Paul and their part in this altercation.
And then Paul gets in the face. Rondo throws a punch. Paul throws a punch. Ingram comes in here. He throws a punch. Those three will be suspended for those punches.
Don't be mad at me, Chris. Don't be mad at me.
Multiple games.
I love you.
And James quickly getting Paul out of it. As Mark said, Chris Paul was over here.
So Chris Paul touches Rondo in the face, and he knows this. He's competed against Rondo for years. He knows if he does anything like that to any man, but especially Rondo, you touch him in the face like that, he's swinging. And I don't know if he claims that he got spit on and he starts wiping his face as if he was, wiping spit off of his face. He claims that Rondo spit on him. However, I think this is a lie. I think he knew the game was on the line. He knew he could get to Rondo. He knew he could piss him off and make him react. And so he started doing all this stuff, poking the bear, as JaVale McGee would say. And Rondo, of course, reacted. And things escalated quickly. Now, he does not talk about getting spit on. And granted, this could have happened before, but I really doubt it. He doesn't talk about getting spit on until he's safe in LeBron James's arms.
He said that Rondo spit on him. Again,
See, right around here. Now he's talking about that. Making an excuse for it. Now, if he really got spit on, do you think all the other players would have just stood by? That would have been the most inflammatory reaction of the entire altercation. So I think if Rondo would have intentionally spit on him, everybody would have jumped in right away before that, before Chris Paul had to go touch his face and everything. Everybody was watching those too. So if that were to happen, it would have been obvious. So maybe Rondo was spitting when he was talking to Chris Paul in his face, and that could have been the thing. But I doubt it. I think Chris Paul knew he could get to Rondo. He could probably get him ejected. I don't think he expected Rondo to start swinging on him right away and to get sucker punched by Brandon Ingram. But things ended up escalating very quickly, and he ended up getting ejected as well. So anyways, I don't know. Also Carmelo Anthony was a peacekeeper in this situation. He kind of manhandles Brandon Ingram, which you could tell really annoyed Ingram. Melo basically picked him up and carried him away. And those are the type of things that really bother Ingram. This seems to happen to him quite a bit, particularly in this game. He was getting bullied by Harden all game long. And that type of stuff irritates him. That's probably why he reacted so out of character. At the end of the day, he is just a kid. A lot of us have been in those situations before. But like I said, this whole fight was inevitable. It was a very close game, and both teams fancy themselves contenders in the West. And also, both teams have made a lot of adjustments to their roster this year. So this is a rivalry to keep an eye on. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's the video. It was very entertaining for me. I love this stuff. I know it's different than what we usually cover on this channel, but we like to take current events in the NBA and view it through the psychological lens so that we can derive lessons for you guys. And hopefully through that, young players will start to look at the game differently. Anyways, guys, I'm Coach Daniel. If you liked, please subscribe and share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.